party that brought you, well, we're all going to die, comes, quote, they'll get over it. Republicans doubling and tripling down today on their naked callousness and public indifference to the suffering of their own constituents. Also that Donald Trump can do a victory lap in the now bulldozed Rose Garden. That quote, they'll get over it, comes from none other than former Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell. And like Senator Joni Ernst's grim and dismissive response to her own constituent's face, she's the one that said we're all going to die, McConnell was talking about the same thing, those massive cuts to Medicaid. Punchbowl News reports that Mitch McConnell's comment happened in a closed-door meeting of the Senate Republican caucus, where Mitch McConnell said regarding Trump's so-called big beautiful bill this, quote, failure isn't an option. Quote, I know a lot of us are hearing from people back home about Medicaid, but they'll get over it. It is worth noting that Medicaid isn't some obscure opt-in optional program. According to one poll, 69% of all Americans say that someone's been on Medicaid, been covered by Medicaid. In a statement, a spokesperson for Mitch McConnell said the senator was talking about, quote, the people who are abusing Medicaid, the able-bodied Americans who should be working, end quote. It's not exactly a denial of what he said. If anything, the statement implies that McConnell believes people affected by cuts to Medicaid are some massive pool of 16 million freeloaders who choose to work and will, in his words, his quote, get over.
So Mitch McConnell told his Republican colleagues that he knows they've been getting tons of incoming from constituents, from Americans about Medicaid. But he said, hey, don't worry about it. Pass the bill. They'll get over it. Well, I'm telling you right now, Loretta from Pittsburgh won't get over it. Teresa won't get over it. Christy will not get over it. Kim will not get over it. These folks are Americans. They're our countrymen and women. They will not just get over it. In fact, they'll lose health care. In fact, hospitals will close. In fact, Americans will die. That's not something you just get over.
What the hell are Republicans so afraid of? What the hell are you so scared of that you guys are holding this hearing at 1 o'clock in the morning? It's a simple question that speaks to the heart of what's going on here, and one that I'm going to keep on asking. If Republicans are so proud of what is in this bill, then why are you trying to ram it through in the dead of night? If you guys are so proud to kick 14 million people off Medicaid, if you guys are so proud to rip food assistance out of the refrigerators of moms and dads and their kids, if you guys are so proud of shutting down rural hospitals and hurting our farmers, if you guys really think these are such great, awesome, beautiful things to do, like Trump keeps saying, then why not hold this hearing at 1 p.m. and not 1 a.m.? This is not normal at all. This is a 1,000-page bill, for God's sake. 1,000+ pages, and you want to shove it through in the dead of night because Trump said, close your eyes and vote for it. You're using emergency procedures to jam this through Congress to meet an artificial deadline that you created yourselves because the billionaires just couldn't wait for their tax cut. What the hell are Republicans so about?
So the vote-a-rama just came to an end. I don't know how many hours it was. It's close to 2:33 in the morning. And we offered a number of amendments to protect Medicaid. Republicans voted it down. To protect Social Security, Republicans voted it down. We offered amendments to say that if you're making more than $100 million, you don't get a tax cut in the bill. They voted that down. So we said, well, what about $500 million? They voted that down, so we said, how about if you make $1 billion a year? Can we preclude a tax cut for people making over $1 billion a year? And they voted that down. So, at the end of the day, none of the Democratic amendments passed, but the Republicans were put on record. They own this bill. They own all the deficits and debt it will create. They own all the cuts to Medicaid and Social Security. This bill will implement, they're going to own it. So the first part of the reconciliation process is done. The budget bill is passed here. We'll see if it passes in the House. But tax cuts for billionaires, the one promise that Donald Trump is keeping, has just taken a big unfortunate step forward here. And what that's going to mean is a lot of working people are going to lose out on their health care.
Homeland Security's domestic counterterrorism hub leads nationwide efforts to prevent targeted acts of violence of all kinds. President Donald Trump, in his infinite wisdom, has put this man in charge of that at Homeland Security. He's 22 years old, 1 year out of college, with no evident national security experience whatsoever. Before volunteering for the Trump campaign, his LinkedIn page reportedly explains that his work experience includes, quote, lawn care work around my neighborhood, also working part-time as a clerk at an H-E-B supermarket. He also apparently once had an internship at the Heritage Foundation, and according to a recent ProPublica profile of this young man, again, who is Donald Trump's best guess at who would make a good counterterrorism chief for the United States government at this moment in time, according to ProPublica, quote, the bulk of his leadership experience comes from having served as Secretary General of a model United Nations club in school. But now that is who Donald Trump has running domestic counterterrorism efforts for the U.S. government.
Yeah, me too. I really look.
What are you doing?
She's coming with us.
What are you talking about? Who are you?
I'm your Republican congressman. Now that we're in charge, we're rounding up illegals.
She was born here. She's a citizen.
I don't care. She looks like one of them. But don't worry. When she's in prison in El Salvador, she'll have lots of company.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. It's gonna be a good time. The time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth. He's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for, Trucker John.
All right, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I think I put my green screen, I think I set it up just a little too far back that way, and it's just a little too far. But it is what it is. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Let's see. Let me turn my volume up and see if I can hear myself. Yeah, okay. The mic is working. Everyone's here. Thanks everybody for being here. I do appreciate you. 11:22 a.m. I would say this is a late start. I got a little bit of a late start, but actually the way things have been going, this is about the time I get going. So it's already 96 degrees. We're going to have a high of 103. I walked over to Jack in the Box to get my breakfast. It's just down at the corner here, and it felt like it was at least 100. So we're warming up here in Vegas. So looking at the chat, we see Sandy Foltz. Now I don't know what's going on. I was reading some of the comments, and I don't know why it doesn't have like our regular usernames or screen names. It's showing everyone's their at deal. Apparently, I think that's a YouTube thing. I mean, I don't think I did anything. As far as settings or changing the settings or anything. This is a YouTube thing. I don't know if this is a glitch or if this is something they're changing to. I really don't know. but so now we've got everyone's their like address or whatever you call it, and so that's a little bit different than your username. So this could be this might be a fun day. I don't know. But Sandy Foltz is here. Good to see Sandy. And look at her. Andrea is here. But was here. I don't know if Andrea's still here, but thanks for stopping by. And look at her, a member for 2 months. So, Andrea, you get a yippee. Thank you so much for being a member. And Andrea writes there, happy Friday, everybody. Thanks. Thank you for gifting. And thanks for being here. Good to see you. Big Dog. Now, this is what, Big Dog has changed his name to Damon Dog. So this is going to be, this might be, I don't know, an awkward day. But I don't believe I've done anything. I've done nothing to, I think this is purely a YouTube thing. So take it up with them if you don't like it. Anyhow, Big Dog, Damon Dog, the Big Dog is here. So Bob LeBlanc, I believe, is Bob. Bob, what's your usual handle now? Is it I don't know. Bob LeBlanc, are you usually David and Grand Prairie? Are you oh no, I forget, but I know you guys usually have different handles than these ats are. Like here's Roxanne 1979 testing. So Roxanne I think that's Roxanne Epstein, I think. Here we have Aaron West. Aaron West is here. Good to see you, Aaron. So Aaron, if you know anything about this, why we're getting the at instead of the person's regular like screen name, if you know anything about that, let me know. You're probably just as confused as I am. Roxanne says, I'm not digging this new YouTube chat look. Did we get hacked? It wasn't like this at Hal's, but I was at Texas Paul's. It freaked me out. Had to take fast acting gummy to avoid panic attack. Well, okay, just relax. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, I think anyone could get that if they just went to your like profile page, your channel page. I think it's just on there, so it's not like it's really, secret information. So Aaron says I heard that YouTube messed up the handles. Yeah, this must be a YouTube thing. They'll probably fix it, but we'll probably be stuck with it for the duration of this live stream. Roxanne says, yep, they sure did, and they need to fix it. Yeah, it is weird. It's kind of awkward, I guess, But anyhow, we have 18 watching and only 13 thumbs up, so we are currently operating at a thumbs up deficit. So let's be the good Democrats that we are, and let's balance the books. Let's hit that thumbs up button there, by golly. So Pam J, I think Pam J just goes by Pam J. Pam J's here. Thank you so much for being here. Now the Fancy Factory, I think that would just be fancy. Says, hi everyone, grabbing coffee, don't start without me. Pam J says, how do you like your coffee, Fancy? I drink mine black, but wouldn't mind a shot of Bailey's. Maybe not for breakfast, though. And there's Gin Up the Base. AFFS, I'm not sure what that is. Sugar John keeping banker's hours now? Oh. I don't know what the A is. For fuck's sake. Anyhow, whatever. Keeping banker's hours now, Fancy. But Gin Up the Base, you should know me by now. You know I'm never on time. Aaron, Fancy was back there. We got Mad Mac, Slava Ukrainian to Mad Mac. Mad Mac 9. Gin Up the Base says, okay, the Giants are back in mid-season form, swept by the Marlins, swinging wet newspapers for bats. Well, like I say, it's a long season. We'll see how things finish up. Dodgers just, of course, I think they just swept the Rockies. Everyone sweeps the Rockies. Clayton Kershaw, 3 away from 3,000 strikeouts. That's going to be a big thing. And then his next milestone he's going to go for is 300 wins. I feel like running to my closet and putting my Kershaw jersey on now. Maybe I'll do that when he gets 3,000 strikeouts. Maybe I'll be sporting my Kershaw jersey. Red Mac, what did YouTube do to our names? Yeah, apparently it's some YouTube F up, as the kids like to say. Let's see. I'm just scrolling on down here. So user PH9WT3U7 is that, and there's a W. Would that be William? That might be William. Was here. I don't know if it still is here. Aaron is asking, who are you usually, to that big long deal. I think that might be William because I see the W in the little icon. There's Fancy with the $2 super chat. Thank you, Fancy, so much. So yippee to Fancy. I do appreciate you. Thanks for contributing to the show, helping us stay going and growing. So I don't know why it's not showing my name. I'm William. Yeah, so I'll try to I'll call you William. It's kind of convenient that your icon is a W, so that will remind me that that's William. Because William's a hell of a lot easier to say than that long thing there. So, William says hello. Hello, William, by the way. Hello. And there's Aaron West with a $2 super sticker. Thank you so much, Aaron. There you go. Yippee to Aaron. Aaron says like, subscribe, and share. Yes, because let's get us to 6 million. Let's get us to 6 million subscribers. I say it very earnestly and seriously. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. But thank you, Aaron. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for keeping us going here and helping us achieve the goal. Roxanne says, who's your user? William, is that you? Yeah, the one that, if you can see the W, the W icon, that's William, everybody. Everybody, that's William. Pam J, John, hear you okay? Thank you, Pam J, for that little feedback there. Seti Foltz, hi, TJ. I'm in Ransomville. I wonder how that town got its name. That's kind of interesting to wonder how that town got its name. Were there a lot of kidnappings, and that's where the ransoms were held at some point? Could be. I mean, those things back east, you guys got a history of all kinds of weird shit. So here's Richard watching from Australia, 4:22 a.m. and a bright, shiny good morning to you. I don't know what time the sun comes up, but over there. But I hope you're feeling bright and shiny. We are getting a unstable weak network connection message, so hopefully I'm not buffering. Roxanne, I feel exposed. Well, it really isn't that. I mean, it's 1979, so either you were born in 1979 or you graduated high school. I graduated high school in '79. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I get it. I understand, but I don't think that that's really like secret information. I think anyone could go to your channel page, your channel like profile page on YouTube, and I think it's right on there in the information or the more section or whatever. I mean, it just automatically pops up in there. Non-useless says I went into my YouTube account and switched it this morning. It happened to everyone. Roxanne says I couldn't even use my original name at non-useful, but it was fine at Hal's this morning. Yeah, maybe in order to fix it, they just have to do it in sort of chunks at a time. Richard, I remember Willie Mays, of course. Who doesn't remember Willie Mays? Walter Makarovich is here. Hey, Walter, thanks for being here. Says hi, Trucker John. It's good to see how Sparks had enough of MAGA and the cult they're following. I agree. If you are in any way supportive of it, you're no friend of mine. Period. No working with them. There is no working with them. I suppose. I'm kind of, I agree. I mean, these are fascists, especially when we're talking about the administration and these politicians that are going along with them. But a lot of the regular people like you and me, a lot of them, I think, they've become brainwashed. through a couple decades now of Fox News, and they've been dragged into this cult, or they went into the cult, and they need deprogramming. And how we do it, I guess that's the argument, is like, how do we deprogram them? Do we get in their face and scream and yell at them, or do we try and just speak in a more less reasonable, normal tone? I mean, you don't have to coddle them. You don't have to like kiss their asses. But I kind of, because I was watching the was Kyle Kalinske, was his name Kalinske or whatever the fuck his name is, Kyle and Crystal, and the thing with Jink or Shink, whatever the fuck his name is. And I found myself, now you guys are probably going to hate me for this, almost more agreeing with Jink or Shink or whatever the fuck his name is. I like kind of rubbing it in about his stupid name. I kind of found myself almost going more his way than their way, because while I understand, and Crystal even said, if you watch the video, she does a show, I guess, all the time with maggots. And she's tried to do the reasonable, kind of the reasonable, even tone, or like, and just talk, try to just bring facts into it, but not getting hyperbolic, or not getting in their face or whatever. And she said it doesn't work. So this trying to be their friend, or being friendly with them, and just explaining the real facts of whatever these issues are that we talk about, she says it doesn't work, and I kind of agree with her too. But then I see Kyle Kalinske. Should I make fun of his name too? Because I don't know, whatever the fuck his name is, going off on Shink the Jink, and I just sort of imagine myself, if I were a maggot, or if I was whoever it is that he was directing that kind of aggressiveness towards, I would totally shut down and get defensive, and I would totally be like, "Fuck you, motherfucker! You don't talk to me that way." And so we wouldn't be talking about the issues anymore. We wouldn't be talking about, why Trump is wrong and why Trump is right or whatever. I would totally get defensive. So you got to kind of be careful how you. I understand. Okay, maybe these people aren't going to listen. I was in a fucking Trump rally in Vegas, and I was getting literally surrounded, and people were closing in on me, and they were because I was speaking my truth, and they didn't like my truth. I was putting down their dear leader, and I was exposing some of his bullshit, and they literally were closing in on me and telling me that I was a loser, and I was a liar, and I was that I was the whack job or whatever, and I got myself out of there because I could feel like something was going to happen. But I don't know. It's a kind of a fine line, I think, as far as like, if we're going to try to approach maggots and to try to do some sort of changing their minds or whatever, I think coming at him and just yelling and screaming at him like Kyle was doing to Jink or Shink, what the fuck his name is, I don't think that's going to work. Maybe doing what Jink, like it sounds like he pronounces it Jink. I should know. I've known of the guy for at least a decade and a half, or maybe two. I don't know. Anyhow, but the way he was doing it is kind of off-putting. It's kind of like how Gavin Newsom was really off-putting in his podcasts, when he has these right-wing extremists, these nut jobs, these maggots on his show, and how he really comes off, from what I've seen, I've only watched certain clips and stuff, but he comes off really milquetoasty and very unappealing to me. But when he is out off of his podcast and he's defending California and he's standing up to Trump, That's the Gavin Newsom that I like. But he does it in a way that is very polished, very professional. He's not in your face. He's not yelling and screaming like a Kyle Kalinske or whatever the fuck his name is. So anyhow, that was just that took me on a big roundabout there. Speaking of Richard, I think I was on a roundabout. Let me scroll back up and see where I left off in the chat here. Non-Useful says this administration is vicious, vile, evil, ugly, disgusting, immoral, condescending, violent, vengeful, and just plain old criminal by nature. Trump now has more power. Thanks to the Supreme Court, right? Recent Supreme Court decisions. Pam J says, I'm sure Elon is... Notice how I said Elon, not Elon, folks. It's Elon. I'm sure Elon is tampering with your YouTube info. Doug G is here. So I just know Doug G is Doug G. Michelle's here. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Thanks for coming on into the driver's lounge. You guys make sure you hit that like. We're still operating at a deficit, folks. Let's be good Democrats and at least balance the budget here. We got 28 watching, only 25 thumbs up, so make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me. And let's operate at least at a balance. I was born in Texas in 1947. Roxanne says, this 1979 bit knew I changed it already. It was random numbers at the end of my name. Change without numbers. F that. Well, I like it. I like your number because that's the year I graduated from high school. So as we used to say back in the day, the class of 79 is fine. So I like your number. Don Useful says Marcus Buchanan, or no, not Buchanan, Marcus Bauchman. Oh, is that the husband of what's her face, Michelle Bachmann, or is it Bachmann? Has experience in reprogramming gay individuals into being full on ultra straight with a slight lisp that never goes away in his male category, whatever that means. He would probably be federally employed. Okay, whatever. But yeah, I do remember hearing about that. That he was involved with these reprogramming things, and I remember hearing about that, and I just thought, no, that's just his. That's just a hunting ground for him. You know, he's a predator. That was my takeaway. Richard says Jink is a Young Turk broadcast network. I know exactly who Jink is. I just don't know how to say his stupid name. Jink or Shink. How about Alex? Can I buy a letter and change it to the proper fucking letter? I really don't have. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I don't have a problem making fun of a guy's name who I think is an asshole. I think Jink or Shink, whatever the fuck your name is, I think he is I think he's an asshole. But I was kind of almost leaning his way in that clip. If you guys see the clip of Kyle and Crystal going at it with Shink. Roxanne says it's pronounced Jink, but it's not obvious with the C and K. I don't like. Then like I say, Alex, can I buy a J for 300, please, or whatever? But of course, then Jink would get all. I'm sure he would get all. He would get all offended. That's my heritage. It's spelled that way. Are you a bigot? And he would go, of course you are. So, anyhow. Anna Moore's here. Anna Moore, good to see you. Hello, truckers. How's the couch? The couch is doing fine. The couch is right over here. Nice and cleaned up. I believe I've done all the cleaning on it I can do, scouring it with the Clorox bleach cleaner on the back, the bottom, the sides, in between, behind the cushions and between the cushions. It's a really nice couch. I'm glad I got it. That's funny. When I stepped outside, oh no, actually it was yesterday. They tossed out the mattress. And don't think I didn't think about the mattress, but I was like, nah, that's probably going a little too far. Because I like the bed that I have, and that's the same bed probably, same mattress, same size. But I was like, nah, I don't think I'll take the mattress. But I was thinking about it. And then today, when I took my walk to get to Jack in the Box for breakfast, there's another unit up in front, I guess, that they're remodeling or redoing. And they had the bed frame sitting, but it wasn't like thrown out. It was like leaned up against the wall. And I'm almost sure they're not throwing away the frame. It's like little metal frames. But I was thinking, damn, if I could get that frame and then get that mattress, I'd be all set. But yeah, I got to draw the line somewhere, folks. I guess. So I'm not going to get the mattress. The mattress is gone now, though. Anyhow, so it probably is in the dumpster if I look, because they have a huge, like there's regular kind of dumpsters where we throw our trash, and then they have this huge giant dumpster. And if you guys are loyal viewers of the Drug or Draw channel, you've probably seen videos and live streams of that dumpster. It's probably square footage wise bigger than this apartment. Yeah, Animor's here. Marsha's here. Hey, Marsha, good to see you. Thanks for joining us, Marsha. I hope things are going well for you today. From where you're at, Josh says that Jink, I guess I'll say Jink, is not unintelligent, but he's a douchebag. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a smart guy. He's a lawyer. I think he has a law degree from NYU and all that kind of shit. Marsha, why have our names changed? Marsha, it's a YouTube glitch, I think. And I think we're going to be stuck with it for at least the duration of this show. Mad Mac, Jink is pronounced asshole. Mad Mac, did you break in your couch in the JD? Well, that's between the couch and I don't kiss and tell. All right, so. Jet the base says Trucker John 3. See, my name is Trucker John 3. I'm opening to discussing things with maggots. They have no interest in listening. It would be nice to have dialogue, but these assholes are too far gone. They will not admit they were wrong. So what do? So here's what we do. We will take hold somewhere. I guess that's really all we can do. It looks like I'm buffering. Just plant the seeds. Maybe 99% of them will never take root, but maybe that one will. And that's all we can do, I think. So we just tell the truth, get the facts out there, expose the Trump lies, and do it I think we should do it in a just a calm, measured way. We don't have to get in people's faces, scream. Although, I mean, there might be some cases where that's necessary too. Non-usable mattress equal bed bug central. And more, no, not the mattress. I didn't take the mattress. I didn't. I'm just saying the thought crossed my mind. Non-usual drink is following the money. Yeah, in that interview, the thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way is a couple of times he talked about how he and Anna, talking about Anna, we're talking about names. What was her name? Kasporian, or whatever the fuck her name is. How they are, like on the left, or liberals or whatever, and I'm thinking, are you really? Do you still call yourself that? I mean, Anna's getting more and more right wing, every day, it seems like. So I'm not even sure if you could call them left wing anymore. I don't know what the fuck they are. Andrew Petrie's here. Hey, Andrew, good to see you. Hi, John, you glorious, sexy bastard. Well, thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking into the old driver's lounge. Michelle says Fox was exposed last election. Mad Max says, I love that Gavin Newman has sued Fox News for $787 million. He should win. How do they come up with these numbers, though? Why not just 800 million? Or, hell, make it $1 billion. Or make it 999 million. Mad Max, Desparian. Now, of course, they'll always say it's fake news, fake news. That's not right. That's not, whatever. But hey, whatever. Just stick to your ground. Hold your ground. Stick to the facts. Like I said, maybe you'll be throwing some seeds out there, and maybe a couple of them will sprout something. Fancy says, I have a repairman here. I'll be listening. Oh, the old repairman fantasy just kicked in my head. Mad Max says both Jink and Anna are rich bitches, so of course they are leaning. I guess money does change you, because, like I said, I used to be a young Turk, or whatever they called it. I was in their club. This is like probably 15 years ago. I think I paid to be a Young Turk member or something. Hey, Brooklyn, hey, my AC was delivered today. Yippee! All right, Brooklyn, good to hear. You got the AC. You don't have to cuddle up to the ice bags anymore and get stuck to your couch. So congratulations on your AC. I hope it just blows beautiful, cold air for years and years to come. Steve Sayer says Newsom doesn't want to appear greedy. Yeah, I guess so. Non-useful says Jink sees that Mr. Pools makes $400 a year by the Kremlin and gets away with it. Trust me, it's all about the money, period. I think Tim Pool makes more than that. I think that 400 grand was not just for the whole year. I think that was only for a partial year, but I could be wrong. But have no doubt about it. Jink is a multimillionaire, and they've been millionaires. Him and Anna, they've been millionaires for quite a long time now. TYT became huge. I would say they've earned, they became, I guess, technically millionaires probably 10 years ago. But now they're at the point where they're just getting greedy, and they're like, okay, now what can we do to make more money? Let's veer to the right now and get everything stirred up. It is probably just a big game to them, which is sad because we I think as just people in general, we want to find people that we agree with and have shared values. And now I see Jink and Anna as being a total letdown and being totally just sort of traitors to liberalism and democracy. Oh, okay. That makes perfect sense. Mad Max says that was the same number that Dominion used, and that's why Gavin used it. Yeah, Dominion sued them for $787 million, and they won. So by that rationale, I think Gavin says, well, if they won with that, then I should win. And plus having the facts of the case on his side. Michelle says we should all be allowed to sue for the lies Trump told. Yeah, Anna Moore says, I used to subscribe to the Young Turks until their politics changed. Yeah, I did too, but way back. Way back with the when they were all about getting money out of politics. That's what drew me in. I was really into that, and I'm still into that. I'm still into getting money out of politics. Brooklyn says, I saw your short video with the fire engines. Do you know what happened? All I heard is that there was a fire. I haven't seen really anything on the news. I didn't see flames. I didn't smell smoke. Apparently there was a fire. It might have been in the garage. It might have been one of the cars. Because if you saw that video, all those fire engines, and there must have been at least a half a dozen of the big engines. And then there was a couple of those like little paramedic cars, and I think there was some ambulances. And then they had the fire truck pickup trucks. They were going in there, and it was all down that. It's like this kind of alley that goes back to the garage. So maybe a car caught on fire, probably a Tesla. I don't know, but I haven't really seen anything on the news other than I just heard on our radio in the cab. Someone came on the cab and said, "There's a fire at Paris. Don't go to Paris." And there I was at the Paris. But I haven't had a chance. I'm sure it's on the news. I'm sure it's on it might be on the news. I guess you never know, but it's probably on the local news. I haven't even had a chance to watch the news today. But I was just sitting there, and like I said, I'd never seen so many fire engines and response like that, unless it was like the Mandalay Bay shooting or something, you know. Andrew Petrie says we should hold Trump accountable for emotional distress. You know what would help me get over my emotional distress is when that motherfucker is locked up in prison and they throw away the key. That would help. That would go a long way in helping my emotional distress. Mad Max says Gavin says that any proceeds from the new case will be donated to causes fighting the orange felons. Shite. Just skipping down here in the chat. I'm almost caught up with you guys. Animal. Oh no, another Tesla caught a fire. No, I was just kidding. I don't know if it was a Tesla. I don't even know if it was a car fire. I'm just saying where they were going is the garage area of the hotel. And so I don't know if it was a Tesla. I was making a joke. It's called, these are the jokes, folks. These are the jokes. Brooklyn says maybe a Cybertruck exploded like rockets do with no one getting hurt. Yeah, it was okay with me. Mad Max satire. Yeah, I need a satire button. Hey, look at that. We're at a surplus, like good Democrats. 30 watch and 35 thumbs up. So we are operating at a surplus. But you know what? My feeling is you can never have a big enough surplus. So if you haven't hit the thumbs up, make sure you hit it. If we need to get more, go call your friends, your neighbors, old high school acquaintances. Tell them to come in here and give me a thumbs up. How's that? Non-Musil says, when progressive minds regain power in all branches or less, one thing should be on everyone's minds, repatriation of all Americans that were deported and made whole. What say you, John? I agree. Absolutely. If they were deported illegally, well, it's all illegal because they stripped away due process. So they should be, yeah, I think that sounds reasonable. Andrew Petrie says, I saw a bumper sticker on a Tesla yesterday. It said, I bought this car before I knew Elon was crazy. I laughed. Hey, the Soulcraft's here. Hey, Soulcraft, good to see you. Just rolled in. So one more. Thank you there, Soulcraft. Yeah, we are. Our surplus is getting bigger. Brooklyn, I just added my thumb to the mix. Thank you, Brooklyn. Let's get that surplus growing. Let's grow the surplus on our way to 6 million subscribers. So here I wanted to read something. I got this from the AI. Let's see, did I still have it? Like when you go on Google and you ask a question, and then it gives you like an AI response, and I think it was pretty good. I don't know if it's in here. It might not be in here on my iPad. Yeah, I don't see it on here. Unfortunately. But I thought it gave me a really cool answer. To when I put this in, I just asked, does ICE need a warrant? And here's the answer. And I think this, I was thinking about making a video to this. Like, they're masked. They've got some sort of tactical gear, but it looks like they bought it on Amazon. They're wearing jeans. They straight up, to me, just look like Jan 6ers. These do not look like ICE officers. You can kind of tell the difference. I've seen videos of the ICE officers. They're not masked. They have official uniforms on with badges and patches. They look official. These dudes I've been seeing rolling up, they're wearing blue jeans. They're strapped. They got guns and shit. They got masks on. They've got some sort of a tactical vest that they bought on Amazon. They're straight up Jan 6ers. They're Proud Boys. They're whatever, all that kind of shit. And they're grabbing people. And I was thinking about maybe showing a video of that with doing a voiceover of this, maybe. Let's see what you guys think. It says, here's the breakdown of when ICE generally needs a warrant. Entering a home, generally ICE requires a judicial warrant signed by a judge to enter your home without permission. Your home is protected under the Fourth Amendment. Administrative warrants such as ICE Form I-200 and Form I-205 are typically not sufficient for home entry without consent. Exceptions to the judicial warrant rule for home entry exist in emergency situations, exigent circumstances, such as pursuing a fleeing suspect or believing someone inside is in danger. And that's it. That's true of all warrants. Arrests in public places. ICE officers may arrest individuals without a warrant if they have probable cause to believe the person has committed a deportable offense or is in the country illegally. Inside a private residence, a judicial arrest warrant specifically naming the individual is generally required for an arrest unless voluntary consent is obtained. Administrative warrants can authorize arrests in public. Searches. ICE needs a judicial warrant signed by a judge to search private property where you have a reasonable expectation of privacy, including your home or personal belongings. A search warrant must specify the place to be searched and the items to be seized. Exceptions to the warrant requirement for searches include voluntary consent and exigent circumstances. So here's some important points. Everyone in the U.S. has rights under the Constitution, including the right to remain silent and refuse entry to your home without a judicial warrant. It says everyone in the U.S. Doesn't say citizens. ICE administrative warrants are not the same as judicial warrants and generally do not authorize home entry. If ICE agents come to your home without a judicial warrant, if agents force their way in, it says do not resist, but state that you do not consent and wish to remain silent and speak with a lawyer. And then it says you have the right to document interactions with ICE agents as long as you do not interfere with their activities. In other words, you can film this shit. In summary, while ICE can act in some situations without a warrant, they generally need a judicial warrant to enter your home or search private property without your consent. So they have to have a warrant. Now, as far as another thing I saw, I don't know if it'll pop up in here. It's about like if they show up. The one I read yesterday was they have to, if they're going to arrest you, they have to say what they're arresting you for. They have to say, they have to provide their name. There are things. There are requirements, and I'm trying to find that one because I like the way it explained it. Yeah, that's not it. But if they're a real ICE officer, they're going to have a badge number. They're not going to have their face masked. They're gonna tell you their name, and they're going to tell you who they're looking for, and what it's all about. It's not like a lot of these videos I've been seeing. They're more concerned keeping their mask on than anything. I've seen a few times where the mask almost fell off, and you can see the person's eyes, get as big as saucers because they're afraid. Oh no, they're going to see who I am. So a lot of these motherfuckers, I think they've just been sort of like deputized, maybe by Trump or Stephen Miller. I think they do have some sort of they do feel like they do have the authority and they have the backing of Trump, but I don't think these are official trained ICE officers, ICE agents or whatever. I don't think these guys have gone through any type of academy or training or anything. But I think they've sort of been deputized to some extent here. And I've heard, like on 21st Century Suffragettes, Diane is saying over there, make sure you get a video of the license plate. And I've been seeing more. I've been seeing people do that. Get the license plate. You can see that these aren't like government license plates. And I think we need to have more and more people really stand up to those. If it's a real ICE operation, I think you'll know. But if it's these Gen 6er motherfuckers, run them out. And I've been seeing videos of people actually where these guys get scared off. Because if we have the numbers, strength in numbers, we got to stick together. We got to stick together on this. William says, I just restarted my phone. The user thing must be YouTube. Yeah, it's a YouTube issue. Andrew Petrie says, who names their kid X? Worse than Blanket. Good name, Mike. Idiots. Yeah, that's just like, this is weird shit. It's as far as like Elon naming his kid X. It's just, to me, he's a supposedly the richest man in the world. When you get that kind of money, hundreds of billions of dollars, and you're already a little off to begin with, you just totally go off the rails, I think. Rochelle says, I hope Congress doesn't pass the billionaire bill. I know. Me too. I guess it's going to back to the House now, and they're going to vote on it. So I haven't heard the latest on what's going on. But the Soulcraft says Trump just halted all trade deals and talks with Canada. His Canadian bacon must have been undercooked. Pam J says I was listening to TJ but watched T-Fog to see if I could tell what's up with his right hand. Looks way too healthy and young. Is that because it's covered in makeup? Did Elon Musk make him a new hand? Is it a robot hand? Barbara Nicholas is here. Barbara says, by the way, hello, Barbara. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here. Says Taco just released. He is terminating trade talks with Canada immediately. Yeah. Yeah, I think Josh just broke that or somebody. Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. What crawled up his ass this time? You know? What the fuck? Steven Sayer says they'd probably get pretty mad if you were to try and grab their mask off their face. Yeah, I think they're chicken shit. They obviously they must know that they're doing something wrong if they're afraid to show their faces. Marsha says this sucks. I can't tag on my phone and can't type on the crappy Chromebook. Maybe you can't type on your phone. Sorry to hear that, Marsha. I don't know what's going on. One of those days, I guess. Barbara Nicholas says, "Here goes the stock market again." I was there's a it's sort of like for Uber drivers. It's like a ride share channel on YouTube, and they do live streams. And I go on there and just to listen, just to get, because I used to do ride share, and I might do it again at some point. So I kind of just watch just to try to get any talk about ride share stuff. But as it turns out, a lot of these guys, I don't think all of them, but the main guy who runs the channel is a total fucking right wing nut job. And he was saying he's blaming like anything that's a downturn in the economy right now. He's blaming it on Biden. He's buying the Trump line, hook, line, and sinker as far as like blaming everything on Biden. And it's kind of infuriating, Biden had us in a great economy. And to blame this on Biden is just, and ignore all the things that Trump has been doing is just so stupid. Vinny, you're a fucking moron. I'm talking to you over there at the rideshare channel. Fuck you, Vinny, you fucking moron. This is all Trump's doing. You're fucking the person you idolize. It's him. It's not Biden. Biden was had us in a great situation, and Kamala Harris would have continued that on to even bigger and better things. You stupid fucking moron, Vinny. I'm talking to you. Roxanne says Blanket was a terrible name. Oh my god, I forgot about that one. Was that with Michael Jackson? I don't. This is the first time I'm hearing about Blanket. So, but that's pretty stupid. But it's free. I guess it's a free country, and you can name your kids whatever they want, whatever you want. And then when they become of I guess a certain age, they could go to a court and change their name if they don't like it. But still, it's I have my opinion too. MJ Daniel says they will have their something handed over because over their Apple or no Cherry because they are not using them. I don't know. I can't figure out your can you repost that? I don't understand it. Maybe I'm probably mid thread. I'm mid thread. Anyhow, Rosanna with a $9.99 super sticker. Woo! Yippee! Thank you so much, Rosanna. I do appreciate you. Look at there. It says Yahoo! Yippee! Let's fucking go. There we go. You and me. LFG. There we go. We are the resistance. Love you. With a bunch of flowers. Thank you, Rosanna. I appreciate you. And absolutely, let's fucking go. We are the resistance. La resistance. I can't. I'm not good at it. But thank you so much, Rosanna. Absolutely, we are the resistance. One coyote toady. Did Orange Tang Dust Wig think that Canada would just capitulate to his ridiculous trade policies? This is the art of the deal. This is Donald Trump, man. He's the deal maker. He's going to show Canada what it's all about. Marsha, $2 super sticker. Thank you so much, Marsha. Yippee to Marsha. Yippee. So just going to listen and read chat today, TJ. Love you. Thank you, Marsha. I appreciate you being here. Sorry about you're having troubles with the with typing and with the phones and everything, but I do appreciate you. Thanks for letting us know that you're going to be hanging out with us. And then, yeah, Michelle says these are the same guys that wouldn't wear masks for the pandemic, right? They have no problem putting what they call it, a mouth diaper or face diaper on to round up people. Now, I was just thinking today too, like, remember, this is not the America that I know. This is not, we've never had to be concerned about Germany. This is not Nazi Germany. It never has been, but it's turning that way. And remember, was it when Obama was president, when Arizona tried that shit? With the show me your papers, please bullshit? And that shit got shot down. We shut that shit down, man. But here it is back again, where they're telling people you should carry your fucking passport with you or your birth certificate. Who wants to carry your fucking birth certificate around with you all the time? So it just shows that this shit, we can never think that something is completely dead or gone, because they will always bring it back, and they play the long game, and they'll always bring this shit back. So that's why we have to always be vigilant, and we have to always be, tending that garden, man. We got to tend the garden. MJ Daniel from Washington State says the Republicans are all corrupt and cowards, but I don't know if Americans still understand the danger. Well, they will. It just takes a while for the masses to get their asses going. But at some point, there's going to be a tipping point, and where the majority of the masses are going to wake up, and that's when we're going to see the shit hit the fan. At some point, I just don't. Yeah, how far does it have to go before it happens? Apparently, this is Chris Doug. It says one Coyotito says YouTube changed my handle back to the old name. What the fuck? Yeah, we've been talking about that since the beginning of the show. Apparently, this is some sort of YouTube glitch. I don't know why, but hopefully they're getting it fixed. So I'll have to try to remember that one Coyotito is Chris Doug. MJ Daniel, the kid he held out over the balcony railing. So that was that the kid named Blanket? Why would you name a kid name? See, why would you name your kid Blanket? That's so stupid. I'm sorry. I try not to be so judgmental on people's choosing names, and because it's not up to me. It's not my kid. So who am I to tell someone what to name their kid? But Blanket and X. What about George Foreman? I heard that he had like 5 or 6 sons, and he named all of them George. How stupid is that? Like I said, I don't like being that judgmental like that, but some things you got to call out, I guess. Michelle, vive la resistance. I know I'm butchering that. Andrew, Canada would what? I don't know. Did I say something about Canada? MJ Daniel says, for whatever insane reason, the GOP has no intention of stopping any of this. I guess because they think they're going to be, the top in the when America is destroyed and a new country pops up, a new, authoritarian dictatorship under Trump pops up, that they'll be on the top. They'll be at the top level or something. They're cowards and they are not patriots. That's for sure. They are traitors. MJ Daniels says, guy I went to high school with lives not far away and is an EMT. He is also a big anti-mask MAGA loony. That's the thing that gets me too. People who are in any type of medical profession and who were anti-mask and anti-vaccine or whatever, I always thought, okay, wherever you got your degree from or your credentials or that school should probably be shut down because they obviously don't know what they're doing. But I say that tongue in cheek because it's their, it's not that. But the Soulcraft says workplace is asking for original Social Security card. I lost that 2 weeks after at 18. I think what they mean is like not a copy, don't they? Because the Social Security card I have is actually my second one. I had my first one with my little. I think I got it when I was like 12, and I really loved it because it had my little 12-year-old signature on it, And I had that for a long, long time, and then I ended up losing it somehow. I lost my wallet or something. And that was probably back in the 90s, I think. And so I had to get a new one. So now I've had two actual ones. But I think I think what they mean is they don't want like maybe I'm wrong. Andrew Petrie says, I'm Canadian. This isn't the America I know. It's not. I'm American and this is not the America I know. Michelle says older people got arrested yesterday at the White House for protesting this bill. Andrew Petrie says, fight back, America. Soulcraft coming in with some music. Living Colors song, Which Way to America? Shouldn't that be a question mark? MJ Daniels says at Ruben Michaels, I don't think Republicans are reading the room. Americans are getting pissed and more and paying attention. Like I said, there's going to be a tipping point when the masses finally get up off their asses and they're going to come over or just be awakened. A lot of them are just asleep. Like I say, more of them will start paying attention. Chris Doug says, I'm trying to remember. Chris Doug says, I actually have my original Social Security card in my safe. See, I was like a dummy. I just always kept mine in my wallet. And I think, I don't remember what happened, but I guess I lost my wallet one time. This is probably over 30 years ago. And so then I had to go and to the Social Security Administration office and request a new one. So I've had two actual ones. Marsha says maybe YouTube has decided to do this permanently. I don't think so. Well, I don't know. Someone said they were on House Parks and wasn't doing it there, but maybe they just hadn't gotten to his yet. So maybe it's going the, yeah, I don't know. I don't think so though, because it's everyone wants their little screen names, Chris Doug says, remember Moon Unit and Dweezil Zappa and Zowie Zappa, Zowie Bowie. I do remember them, and that never really bothered me because it was Frank Zappa, for Christ's sakes. Of course, Frank Zappa, and at least these are kind of like cool. These are kind of cool to me. Moon Unit and Dweezil. I don't have a problem with that. If he named him like, I don't know, Floor Lamp and Dust Mop or something, then I might have an issue. It's kind of like just naming them the first thing you saw when they came out of the womb or something. You were kind of looking over there and you're like, I call you Wall Plug or something. I don't know. Of our voters, non-voters, Andrew Petrie for this current horrendous administration. I know. I almost feel like we, the American people, that know, especially those of us that like know better or whatever. I feel like we do owe the rest of the world an apology because we are fucking the whole world up by this, by having Trump in office. MJ Daniels, one of his daughters, he has 5, is named Georgetta. I just think that's weird. I mean, like I say, it's a free country, and I guess you're entitled to do what you want. And the whole George Foreman family, or was it George Foreman, right? They probably would want to kick my ass now because I'm saying what I'm saying, but I think it's weird. Do I think that he has a right to do that? Yeah, sure, of course. But naming all your kids George and then the one girl Georgetta, I think it's weird. Now, the Georgetta one's not so weird because there's only one. If he had 5 more daughters and he named them all Georgetta, that would be weird. That's the weird thing, is that he's naming them all the same. It's not the George short and the Georgetta part that's weird in this case. It's the fact that he was naming them, all of his sons, George. And I'm sure he must have had nicknames for each one because you couldn't go just, hey, George, come here. And then, 5 heads go, what? Me? You talking to me? Or maybe he gave them all different middle names, and they went by their middle name, maybe. I don't know, but still weird. No matter how you slice it, that's weird. Roxanne, class of 79. Roxanne's like, I'm not that fucking old, dude. But anyhow, whenever I see 1979, it just reminds me of my graduating year from high school. Roxanne says, Marsha, it wasn't this way for house show. Oh yeah, Origin Taub's show this morning. Yeah, there's some glitchy shit going on here. Ruben Michaels says, I had a video call with one of my doctors. He is worried about Kennedy's new policies on vaccinations. We talked about access to free healthcare. He was at a No Kings protest. Well, it sounds like you have a really great doctor. Not just for his medical expertise, but for his political and social stances. Anna Moore says, someone was knocking on my door really loud. I thought I was being arrested for something I didn't do. We're all paranoid now, thanks to the Trump administration. Brooklyn, I have 3 birth certificates. Do you carry one on you at all times? Your papers, please. We're being run by the Nazi Trump administration. Or would it be Trump Nazi? No. Either way. Works either way, I think. Pam says it's doing it in another live YouTube show. Yeah, it's going through YouTube. I'm sure they'll get it worked out by end of business day. Everyone liked my floor lamp dust mop joke, I guess, or a lot of people did. Roxanne, Pam J, it's doing it at PTL. Is that Praise the Lord? No, I know it's not Praise the Lord. But remember the PTL club? You know? Chris Doug, otherwise known as One Coyote Tito 2, says, I'm changing my name to 55-gallon drum. That's funny. Yeah, Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow have a child named Apple. Now, I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, like I said, it's not my decision. It's not my kid. When they named her Apple, at first it kind of got my attention. I was like, Apple? But it kind of grew on me, you know. And I don't think Apple is as weird as naming all your sons George and naming your kid X, you know, or Blanket. That's a whole different level of weirdness. Naming your kid Apple is just more unusual than it is weird, as far as I'm concerned. Sandy Folds just went swimming. I hope that was a nice swim, a nice refreshing swim. Non-useless as a classmate of, I think mine, not mine. Typo. A classmate of mine was named Gordon Gibbs Head. Unfortunate, probably an unfortunate name, but you know, it is what it is. Could be some buffering going on, folks. Sandy Fold says, what would you do if Trump had rode in your cab and did not tip you? Sandy, you're funny. That's so funny. Because last night I posted some videos about not being tipped and other shit in the cab. I would probably just say, you cheap son of a bitch. Get the fuck out of my cab. Something like that. I don't know. Non-use of the Stausi administration. Ruben Michaels, little X. Josh says, I got 2 ticks on my leg yesterday. I blamed TJ's couch. Leave my couch out of it. My couch had nothing to do with you getting ticks. You're out there walking around out there in the bushes with shorts on. So that's your fault. Brooklyn SJU says, Michael Jackson's son has more problems than being named Blanket. Maybe so. I don't know. I think their kids are okay. I haven't really heard anything about Michael Jackson's children growing up and doing really horrible, bad things, or I think that, as far as I know, they're okay. I don't know, but I don't know much though. Chris Doug says it would be cruel to name your child Pumpkin unless you're Fred Trump. Pumpkin Trump. Pam J says, yes, I do remember the PTL Club and was actually a Jim Baker fan. I thought Tammy was ridiculous, though. He had a way with words, and I believe he was led astray, and Tammy was a freak. Well, Jim Baker may have been led astray, but have no doubt about it, he was in it for the money. He was your typical TV evangelist who was in it all for the money, and they lived a very, very opulent lifestyle. And he was a big hypocrite because he was out there snorting coke off hookers' navels, you know, and the whole thing, and banging chicks all over the place. Which, hey, sounds okay to me, but he was lying to a lot of people. And it was all on the expense of people that he was telling them, if you want, you want to be saved, or you want to be healed, or you want to, then send me the money. That's basically it. So the guy was a dirtbag. Chris Doug, pass the loot. I am trying to use your regular names. But so if someone is watching and I say Chris Doug, and they're gonna go, who the fuck? And if they don't know that one Coyotito 2 is Chris Doug, they're gonna go, who's Chris Doug? So it is making the whole thing kind of confusing today. But it says pass the loot, PTL. Non-useful says, John, it's legal in Florida to run people over in the road. Hint, hint. Yeah, I don't know about that. But Mr. Bob Newell's here. I can't hear you. Pam J says, I needed spirituality at the time. Soon after, I learned the truth about what their so-called Christianity consisted of. Judgmental, self-righteous jerks. Well, I'm glad that you were able to find that out. Just was a loud noise by the dumpster. What are they throwing away today, guys? Well, what are they throwing away today? Now, this is actually at the dumpster. It looks like they're going to be, I don't know, are they tossing washers and washing machines and refrigerators and shit? Wow, they're doing a lot of shit. Or it looks like he's loading it up. There's a guy loading, I guess. The big giant dumpster, it has like where you can open it up. I think this is like a recycling guy or a guy that picks up shit. I don't think these all came out of these units, maybe, but he's got like a little flatbed trailer. It looks like washer machines and a dryer and some refrigerators. I think I could use a new refrigerator, to tell the truth. I mean, it works okay. It actually works okay, but it's kind of old and dented. Let's see. Where did I leave off at? Yeah, Barbara Nichols, furniture check. Might have some more incoming furniture. Bob Newell, I could use that washing machine. Yeah, I guess this guy's loading stuff up on his. So either he like recycles them, or maybe he fixes them. Maybe he has like a used appliance shop or something. Anyhow, that's their deal. So we got Damon Dog, otherwise known as the Big Dog. Says, hey, truckers, I'm very late. It's Nutrients Day and lost track of time. Oh. It happens, especially on Nutrients Day. I don't know what Nutrients Day is, but it sounds very nutritious. Hopefully I'm not buffering too much. Josh says, what's rolled up in the carpet? I didn't see any carpet, but yeah, you might not want to know. But there was one. Pam J says, after what they did to Jim Baker, I guess, it wouldn't surprise me if they shot for influential speakers just to set them up and fleece people. Anna Moore says, someone attending a No Kings Day in Alabama, a red state, was shocked to see how many people showed up. Hunger and no health care doesn't discriminate. Yeah, see, this shit's going to keep happening. I've been saying, I think these protests and these marches, I think we should call them marches and not protests, and they should be peaceful. But I think they're going to keep getting more and more people, bigger crowds, and they're going to be in places like Alabama and Mississippi and Louisiana, because if they're going to be losing their Medicaid and their social services, people are going to get pissed off. Big Dog, Brooklyn it was good seeing you at 21st Century Suffragette yesterday. I love those ladies. Yeah, I was in there watching for a bit too. I didn't watch the whole show. I think I was getting ready for work or something. Oh, Big Dog Plant Feeding Day. Oh, okay. Non-Usual says Jim Baker, his drag queen Christian wife, have their ministry at the old Roy Clark Theater in Branson, selling tribulation food, which is booming from Trump's nuclear talk. Conversion therapy didn't work. But they're dead, so it must be their heirs or their estate or something that's doing that. Because I think they're both dead now, right? Or is Jim still alive? Tammy died, right? Maybe is Jim still alive? Maybe Jim's still alive. Maybe I stand corrected. Mr. Bob Newell, I want dibs on bar stools. Keep watching. Chris Doug, otherwise known as the Coyotito. No Kings 2 is July 4th. So keep that in mind. Go out to a march. We can do both. We can go to a march and we can celebrate 4th of July. We can do both. Soulcraft says, I was there, Anna, Huntsville, Alabama at Campus 805? Pissed off bartender that was there too. Big Dog says we all have ampersands in front of us now. Yeah, it's a YouTube glitch. Mr. Bob Newell, you love that new New York mayor dude? Well, he's not mayor yet. He won a primary. I do believe that he will win in the general election. And so far from what I've seen of him, I like him. Mr. Bob Newell, Tammy, rest in peace. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tammy died. Maybe Jim is still alive, but I thought they both died. But now that I think about it, I think I may have he could be dead now, but I mean, fairly recently, within the last few years, I think I do remember him hawking some of that into the world food shit. Yeah, Chris Doug says Tammy Faye passed from cancer. The Soulcraft says Huntsville is getting hurt because it's all government workers, NASA, and aerospace contractors. And all those, Doge, everything went and was making cuts and all that, So Chris Doug says Jim is alive. So yeah, I guess he's still going. Non-Usual says Jim Baker remarried a woman that's really into mascara, just like Tammy. I guess he has a type. Jim, you got a type. Soulcraft says, yeah, look it up. Jim's new bucket of food. Yeah, I think I remember seeing some of those infomercials, but I'm thinking like 10 years ago, so I haven't seen him recently. But Mr. Bob Newell, does Marco have any shame? I don't think so. I think they're all shameless. Chris Doug says Jim has a show on the religious channel on my cable system, always selling doomsday food kits. I remember back when I was driving a truck, every now and then I was kind of tempted to try some of that stuff, like maybe not Jim Baker's, but there's a lot of, like Alex Jones had some stuff. He was selling like meals, almost like MREs or something. I don't know. And I thought about buying a bunch of those just to have them in the truck and just to have easy to prepare meals instead of always eating, at restaurants and fast food, or trying to keep a cooler chest or fridge going, like a plug-in fridge. Those things always burn out. And I was tempted to try some of those products just to try them, not because I was a in-timer, prepper, but because I thought it might be convenient just to be if you're out on the road. But I never did. Like Glenn Beck was selling a lot of prepper shit. And so the only thing I thought the prepper shit might be good for is if you were a truck driver like me and you were on the road for 6 or 7 weeks at a time, that some of that shit might come in handy. But I never did buy any. I remember going, I think, on a couple of the websites and looking at the stuff, but I never did buy any of it. But I was thinking about it just to try it out, you know. The Soulcraft says there's a hilarious clip of Jim selling his end times food. He takes a bite and gags. Marie Jane Greco, we just made the goal with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Marie. Yippee to Marie. And thank all of you. You all get another yippee. We made the goal 5 for 5. Appreciate you guys helping us keep this channel going and growing. Let's get to 6 million subscribers, okay? We're currently at about 3,880 something, so we got a ways to go. Gulf Marine's here. Gulf Marine says 1 bucket of rice, 1 bucket of beans, both dry and well sealed is all you need. Mr. Bob Newell, who is more efficient, trucks or railroad? Railroad. That's a very efficient way, but it is limited because you can only get so far. You can't. There has to be a hub, or and this is what they do. They do a lot of rail. They put the trailers on rails on a rail, and they can send it across country for way cheaper than it is to have a driver haul it. And then, but then they at the ports or the train hubs there, they'll offload it and have a big yard, and where drivers bobtail in and grab those trailers, and then finish the delivery. Pam J, I embrace spirituality. I reject organized religion. Chris Doug is saying that it's full of sodium and preservatives. Probably that prepper shit that they sell. Non-usable 5-gallon bucket of oatmeal, 5 gallons of mac and cheese, plastic furniture that hold precious water in a tribulation. Pam J, thank you, Pam J. $2 super chat. Yippee! To Pam J says 1 more for the road. Yippee! Thank you so much, Pam J. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming in here and helping us out and hanging out. And just hanging out, man. I'm thankful for you guys just coming in and hanging out, and we can have this great little community here. We got 30 watching, 54 thumbs up, so we are operating at a surplus. But still, always, I believe you can never have too big of a surplus. So make sure you hit that thumbs up button as we are on the road to 6 million subscribers. Chris Doug says, I'm 1 mile from Midtown Manhattan. An MRI won't feed me after I'm vaporized from an atomic explosion. An MRE. Right. That's true. Mr. Bob Newell, truckers deliver their load. But Big Dog, I'm jealous of your Boston Brian wear. I've ordered 2 shirts from him. I'm still wearing. Now, this is not a Boston Brian shirt, by the way. This is from the Elizabeth Warren campaign. I guess that's 2020 when she was running, right? This is actually a campaign shirt from Elizabeth Warren. I have a Bernie shirt too, but I can't find it. I don't know what the hell happened to my Bernie shirt. That's from 2016, I think. MJ Daniels says, we went to a place that sells that kind of shit a few years ago and got some MREs for our emergency kit, and they sold everything prepper. Prepper. Big Dog says I got my 21st Century Suffragettes and Sons of Liberty shirts in 3 days. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Big Dog, with that. I know we've talked about that before, about that shirt, and I don't know. I do have the one Boston Brian Blunt Politics T-shirt. I ordered it. I don't know. I don't remember how long it took. I seem to remember it came in a timely manner. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. Alvin Stu is here. Hey, Alvin, good to see you. Thanks for coming on into the driver's lounge, hanging out with us for a bit. Mr. Bob New, I'm also needing a dinette set. What do you see? Well, I haven't seen any dinette sets. They probably don't have them here because these are just these kind of small units that don't really have like a dining room per se. When my unit, it just came with a couch, an end table with a lamp, a coffee table. That was it for the living room and the TV. And then the bedroom just has a bed and 2 end tables, or nightstands, I guess, and a dresser. That's it. But now I got 2 couches and an extra table because I've been collecting stuff. Big Dog, I need a Trucker John shirt. I'm going to try to develop it. I do have a store, but those shirts, don't get anything off that store because I need to go in and redo it all. And I don't even know. Someone said they bought a hat, and I've never seen any indication of that. So I'm not hooked up with that store. I did something wrong. There was a definite communication breakdown. I need to go in and call customer service and find out what's going on. So I don't know. If I knew how to do this shit better, I would take the store down until I get it right. My store is messed up, so I don't recommend getting anything off my store right now. Golf Marine says that MREs were pretty damn good, mid-80s, mid-90s. Only thing I couldn't stomach was dehydrated beef patty. Unconstitutable. Chris Doug says, I have a Bernie shirt and hat from 10 years ago. Yeah, my Bernie shirt is probably like about 10 years. I just don't know where it's at. I know it's got to be somewhere in my stuff. I think. Sometimes stuff gets lost, I guess. I don't know. Golf Marine says Emery fruit cocktail, I guess dehydrated or whatever, is freaking delicious. Wow. Is that the thing? Everyone was like hoping to get one of those. They're like, damn it, I didn't get one. So crap, I have blue Bernie socks. Big Dog says I still have my 2008 Obama signs. Wow. Aaron West says Trucker John has channel memberships, super chats. You can also support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Absolutely. And those don't cost you a dime, and they're so very important to like, subscribe, and share. Or you can buy me a coffee over there at that Buy Me a Coffee link. Chris Doug says outer space food or Star Trek from the simulator. The simulator would be cool, huh? If it really worked like that and really tasted good and everything, and that would be cool. Brooklyn says I bought a Bernie doll of him sitting with mittens on at Biden's inauguration. Oh yeah, that's right. I loved all those images, and I was gonna buy one. If you guys know Nicole Sandler, she does a show. It's probably on right now. I think we're on at the same time now. And she became, during the pandemic, she found out that she's an artist. She had this talent she never really knew, and she started painting. And she was painting these little that Bernie taken from that photo of Bernie sitting in the chair with his mittens, and she would do little paintings of that, and you could commission her to do that and pay her for it. And I was always going to get one of those, and I never did. I don't know if it's too late. I think she still paints, but one of these days when I got a few extra bucks, I think I'm going to see if she'll paint me one of those Bernie paintings, because they look really great, and and I'm sure she would love to be able to do that, maybe. So if you guys know who Nicole Sandler is, you can check her out. And she does a lot of like pet portraits. She was painting. You could send her a picture of your dog, mainly dogs, I think. I don't know if she did cats, but I know she did dogs, because I guess there's just certain things that she could do, and she was very good at doing the pet portraits. I saw some of them. I thought they were very good, and she was very good at doing that Bernie painting. So you could just Google Nicole Sandler. I'm sure she'll pop up. Chris Doug says Picard always ordered tea Earl Grey hot. Sorry, Trekkies. It is the replicator. Soulcraft 3D printers will get there one day. And J. Daniel says I found a free Photoshop template using that Bernie picture and had a lot of fun with it. Yeah, it's a good one. I like it. I like that. Brooklyn says, I haven't heard anything about President Biden's health lately. Have you? I really haven't either. That's a good question. That's a good. I guess undergoing treatments. I guess I don't know, but yeah, I haven't heard. Although he did make an appearance, fairly recently, made a speech somewhere. I forget what it was now. Mad Max says Jean-Luc Picard wanted his Earl Grey tea piping hot. Speaking of tea, I'm going to drink my lukewarm coffee. Steve Sayers says, I have Bernie with mittens, back piece tattooed full back. Are you kidding, Steven Sayers? You must be kidding, right? But that would be kind of a cool one, I guess. I don't know. Chris Duck says, my command to the replicator will be cash, US dollars, small denominations. Soulcraft says, guessing he's ongoing treatment. My dad is doing immunotherapy, and it takes 4 years per session. Oh, no, 4 hours. I'm sorry. No, yeah, it was like 4 years. And in that case, just keep giving me the thing, and I'll live forever. But 4 hours per session, so it must be probably exhausting, right? Probably takes a lot out of them, out of your dad and Biden. Big Hook, the Big Canucks here says, please watch Surviving Ohio State, powerful documentary about the athlete sexual assault scandal. Covered up by Jim Jordan and the university. Very powerful. Jim Jordan, who saw something but said nothing. A real, real courageous guy there, Jim Jordan. See, Sirius says not sorry at all. Tim Farrell's there. Hey, Tim, good to see you. It says driving, liking, sharing, listening. Have a good weekend, gang. Well, right back at you, Tim. Have a good one. Hope all goes well. Non-usual says Nicole Sandler in 2021 painted my cat named Mr. Tank. He's on the wall in the office. Very good at what she does for reasonable price. There you go. Non-useful testimonial From Non-Useful, yes, Nicole Sandler. And that was a cat. Because I was wondering if she did cats. So yeah, so she does cats, she does dogs, and she does Bernie Sanders. Go figure. Big Dog, less embarrassing than a Trump face tattoo. I'm talking to you. Well, Roger Stone has Nixon, I think, right? I'm surprised he doesn't put Trump on his stomach or something. I don't know. MJ Daniel says, keep your 40. I'll just have an Earl Grey tea. Weird Al, white and nerdy. I've been watching Weird Al Yankovic videos lately on YouTube because I think he was here in Vegas. I think those are from Vegas. Apparently he's on tour, and it looks like a great show. He just whips through all of his hits and songs, and very funny, very talented. Weird Al Yankovic. I think he's on tour, so unless he's just playing in Vegas, I don't know. But if you have a chance to see him, I think I would highly recommend it. Paul J says, "Yo, out on a trike ride with my Chihuahua. Oh, I could just see the little Chihuahua. Does he have a little gear on too? A little motorcycle gear?" And by trike, I was picturing, a 3-wheeler motorcycle. I don't know. MJ Daniel, Jim Jordan douche or douche? Yeah, he's a douchebag. Big Dog, Jim Jordan probably liked watching. Anna Moore says, I have a Biden 2020 t-shirt when I volunteered in Philly. Nice. Nice. Brooklyn says, Lindsey Graham hasn't been in the news either. Well, I just saw, I think, a clip of him in some hearing, and he had charts and graphs and things. I don't know. I don't even remember now what it was. Big Dog says, I've been wanting a trike. MJ Daniel and his district keeps reelecting his sorry ass. Who did I skip MJ? Oh, about Jim Jordan. Oh, yeah, Jim Jordan. Yeah, that's a sad thing, huh? They keep reelecting this asshole. Maybe that'll change. Maybe things will really get woke. Alvin Stoob says, watching my neighbor's house getting roofed today, I don't miss that job at all. Yeah, that always seems like a really hot, miserable kind of job. Because you're just out in the elements when you're up on those roofs. Non-Useful says Jim Jordan saw 172 pedophile offenses and said nothing. Why? Jim is a pedo. Pedo. Jim he's definitely something. He's definitely not a very good person. Chris Doug says Jim Jordan is a despicable enabler. He should be in prison, not Congress. I agree. Or at least not be in Congress. Hey, Diane Russell here. Hey, Diane, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Always good to see Diane in the driver's lounge. Soulcraft loves Weird Al. Paul J, it's an electric trike. Okay. So you're not like in gear, in your leathers, wearing leathers and shit, Alvin Stoob, yeah, it feels like 102 today. Well, here in Vegas, we're supposed to get a high, I think, of 103. We're already at 100. It's 1 o'clock, 104 here. Diane Russell says, my husband and I guess my daughter saw Weird Al some years ago, both big fans. Paul J, it goes 22 miles an hour. Well, you better strap up and gear up, man. Gear up. Diane Russell says, glad to be here. Working on your going more than 1 hour, TJ. I usually do 2 hours. I almost always do at least 2 hours. I guess the only time when I was doing the House Sparks pre-show on Thursdays, which I haven't done for a while, and I with this my new time, I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. But that's the only show where I would do an hour because it was a 1 hour pre-show hangout. On Thursdays when Hal would come on later, you know. But I might bring that back at some point. Who knows? Marie Jane Greco says, I'm seeing Weird Al this July. He's with Puddles the Clown. Can't wait. That's probably going to be a fantastic show. Diane Russell says it's going to be 91 in Santa Rosa, California. Santa Rosa, beautiful, beautiful place. 91's high there. Santa Rosa is absolutely gorgeous. One of the most beautiful places in California. In my humble opinion. Big Dog, a reminder, Hal will not be on this afternoon. That's right. I did hear him say that on his show this morning. He's got a show at Flappers, apparently. So I think if you're a Patreon member, you might be able to see the show or something, or he might post it later. But he's performing at Flappers this evening. So no show today, no House Sparks today, but he will be on tomorrow for his normal, regular Saturday simulcast of his radio show from WCPT in Chicago. And so he does the YouTube at the same time, the YouTubes. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time, Hal Sparks, followed by, you guessed it, yours truly, Trucker John. I'll be coming on right after Hal Sparks tomorrow at around 11, unless he goes long. He's the one show that I kind of wait for. So if you're wondering why I'm late on that day, it'll be because of that. If he goes long. Anyhow, enough of that. Diane Russell says, "Well, I like it here, but it sure has grown, TJ." Well, yeah, I mean that's what happens when a place is a nice place. People want to move there and live there. Brooklyn Johnny Million. I don't know. I think Johnny posted something saying that he was not going to be on for a while because I don't know if he's going on vacation or he's doing something, but I don't think Johnny Million is going to be on today either, or tomorrow for that matter. I saw a post somewhere. Where did I see it? Let's see if I can find it. Where, oh, where would it be? Where, oh, where would it be? Recent posts. Jake Bro. Hello, Defenders. I got Jake Bro on here. Jake Bro from Las Vegas. I was sort of fantasizing about doing a Vegas Bro show someday. If I had I think I need to have a better setup, like a computer and stuff like that, so I could get the programming, so I could have multiple people on. But I would love to do a Joe Bro show, or not Joe Bro, a Vegas Bro show, and have Jake Bro and Hal and me all together because we all live in Vegas, and maybe do some shows every now and then with the three of us. You guys are, if you guys think that's a good idea or whatever, let me know. If you would be interested in something like that. Let me know. Now here's yesterday. Johnny Million posted, "Hey millionaires." He's got millionaires. I got trucklers. Anyway, Johnny Million says, "Hey millionaires, I'm traveling Friday through Monday, so I can't stream this week. I might be able to swing a random Tuesday. Stay out of the heat if you can." So, no Johnny Million this week for Friday or Saturday. So I was able to clear that up, apparently. Um, Mad Max says, "Yeah, Hal said Patreon members show at Flappers on YouTube." So if it's on YouTube, I guess that would be members only or something, I guess. Big Dog says Jake Bro is awesome. I watch him all the time. I love him, and I know he's in Vegas because I've seen him do videos, live streaming from Vegas, or I don't know if it was live stream or just a video, but I know he lives here. Big Dog, I'd come to Vegas to see that show. Well, I mean, we just do it on YouTube, just like we wouldn't all be in the same room, we would just have our our shows up and like a Zoom call thing or whatever. Hey, Surfer Norm's here. Hey, Surfer Norm, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for coming on in. Surfer Norm says, "I was listening to Dr. Demento the night he did his first gig on the Doctor's Show live. No idea what year that was." Talking about Weird Al. I do remember. I don't know if I listened to that one or not. I do remember listening to Dr. Demento way back. For me, it was like 1988, or maybe even before. I think I had listened to Dr. Demento before then, but I really started listening to him a lot in like 88 and 89 because that's when I started working for the Postal Service in Van Nuys, and I could get the station. I forget, was he on KMET or was he what? I forget what channel, or was he AM? No, I think it was. I don't even remember the channel now. You guys would know. I'm sure someone knows. The LA station he was on. Maybe it was K-Earth? Was it K-Earth? I don't know. But I would listen to Dr. Demento at work with my little headphones, and I was always because you're at work and I'm just processing mail, and so you're just listening to the radio. And I remember listening to Dr. Demento way back then, and that's when I first heard Weird Al Yankovic, and I'm pretty sure that was about the time when Weird Al started, around 88, 89. Paul J says that would be dope. I think talking about doing the Vegas Bro Show with Jake Bro and Hal Sparks and Trucker John. Michael McAndrews, midnights on Wednesday would be okay. I don't know what that was about. Mad Mac, yeah, Patreon members only for the Flapper Show. So if you guys want to watch Hal Sparks Flapper Show, go to Hal Sparks, Google him, find him, and you can become a Patreon over there, and you can watch the Flapper Show. Aaron West, I'm thinking of coming to Vegas in November. Please do, Aaron. Let's have a cup of coffee or something, and not just. I feel bad because I didn't say something. I wasn't sure if it was appropriate. I didn't know if I should say like, "Hey, let's go have coffee sometime," or how long are you in town for? Can we go meet for a coffee? I wasn't sure if I should do that or not, and I kind of feel like I had a missed opportunity to meet with you and just hang out a little bit. So if you're in there in November, let's try to do that. Let's try to go have a coffee or a soda or whatever, and that'd be great. Kin Cat 6980 says, "Shucks, I'm late, but hello, you lovely people." Kin Cat, who are you really? Kin Cat, give us your real name. All the things have been changed, and we're confused. I know you. Thanks for being here. Search for You is here. Says, "Howdy, truckers. What I miss? Well, not much. I didn't get any new old used furniture today. Just me, just rambling, bambling. You know how it goes. You know how the Truck and John show goes. We just ramble. A lot of rambling. I'm a rambling. I'm a rambling kind of guy. Michael Andrews says, "My wife has tickets for Weird Al for this Monday. I think it's Cherry Festival time here in TC, Michigan. I don't know what TC means. Here in I don't know, somewhere in Michigan. Well, enjoy the show. I've seen some of it on YouTube, and it looks hilarious and very entertaining. If you like that sort of thing, if you like Weird Al, you're going to love it." Michael McAndrews says, "Every other year we have the Blue Angels show. This year is off season, so we will have some military jets fly over. Those are always cool to see." MJ Daniel, he actually just retired this year. I listened to Dr. Demento in high school in the late 70s and into the 80s. Yeah, I'm sure I must have listened to him because I lived mainly out in the desert, and the radio stations that he was on were mainly LA stations. And so I think I did listen to him. And sometimes if you were in the right spot or right part of town, you could maybe hear that station or whatever, or at night it would come in better or something. So I knew who Dr. Demento was, and I remember listening to his show a few times, and I thought it was hilarious. But it was around 88, 89, and through the probably most of the 90s or whatever. I think that's when I listened to him a lot, or early 90s. Because I was working down in the valley, San Fernando Valley, and I could get the station very, very clearly. That was the day everything was over the air. Michael McAndrews, I remember Dr. Demento from the 70s. Surfer Norm says, "Hal's Flapper shows are supposed to be subscribers, but sometimes they seem to be open. Just check it out. You never know." Yeah, because I've seen the last few of those, and I'm not a Patreon member. I am a member though I am a member of his channel, but I'm not a Patreon member. I'm just a member of the channel, so maybe that's why. Chris Doug says, "Sorry, Belfast Bob. Is Belfast Bob one of those names we didn't recognize? That I didn't recognize? I don't know, because I don't see him now. I don't see anything. I don't even know. All right. I don't know what happened to Belfast Bob. He's all right." Aaron says, "You bet, John." Yeah, we should definitely. You take it over to Blueberry Diner. Kin Cat, don't know how to change. So Kin Cat is probably Belfast Bob. It's not you. It's YouTube. YouTube has got some glitchy thing going on. Paul J says, "Any truckers in East Washington?" I'm sure there are. There are truckers everywhere. Oh, or did you mean trucklers? Well, MJ Daniel. MJD. And speaking of MJ Daniel, MJD says only the corrupt as fuck, maybe? A Supreme Court fucking over Americans again. Yeah. Oh, Traverse City. Michael McAndrews, Cherry Festival every year in Traverse City, Michigan. See, if you're not from Traverse City or the Michigan area, no one's going to know what TC means. I hate to break it to you. We know what NYC, we can figure out New York City, but I don't think we're going to figure out TC. It's just like me. I grew up in AV. Do you guys know where AV is? Probably not. Or I went to AV high school. Do you know what AV high school is? Probably not. For most of you. But everyone that grew up around where I grew up, they know what AV high school is. That's my point. I guess it was a point. Mad Max says Demento would have songs like Monster Mash, They're Coming to Take Me Away, aha, woohoo, yeah, and Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick. Teresa TAK is here. Hey, Teresa, good to see you. Thanks for jumping on in here to the old driver's lounge. I do appreciate you. Oh, wow, we're already over 2 hours. See, the time just flies, man. The time just flies. I can't go too much longer than 2 hours because my phone will die. So that's why I keep an eye on that, because I know I don't have too much time after the 2 hour mark. Teresa TAK, I noticed most people have numbers after. Yeah, because that's YouTube. They're putting everyone has an @ Go to your channel, your main channel page, and look. You can look in your information. Everyone has an @ address, type of a deal. Every single one of us, and that's what they're posting right now for some odd reason. It's a glitch. It's apparently from YouTube. Something happened with YouTube, and they're supposed to be fixing it, I guess. But in case you guys didn't know it, I mean that's already on your YouTube channels. That's how people contact you if they want to @ you. Paul J, I'm lonely out here. Arbor Valley? No, not Arbor Valley. One Coyote. See, I think that was Chris Doug. Chris Doug says, I grew up in a town called OT. You would have to be from Bergen County, New Jersey to know what it means. Because, yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. Roxanne, 79 is fine. You can change your handle if you go where it says you and where it says manage video. Next to that is a picture of a pencil. Click on pencil and handle will be there and you can edit. Non-useful says this year the trustees board allocated over $10,000 this 4th of July. They set it off over the dam. We watched from our deck overlooking the lake. 90 minutes this year. Sounds like a nice show. Marcia says, to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time, and I'll be happy to see all those nice young men in their clean white coats, and they're coming to take me away. Aha, yeah. Marcia, apparently a fan of Dr. Demento, too. Search for You says YouTube needs to make it so we can @ people from an iPhone. Aaron West says Bergen County, the most corrupt in the country, laughing out loud. Mad Max says, yeah, Marsha, that song was banned in Canada and some states in America in the 60s. That only made more people want it. Chris Doug, I believe it says OT is across the state line from Tappan, New York. Old Tappan, New Jersey. Wow. See, you learn something new every day, right? Roxanne says, I'm not good at explaining tech stuff. You can also search how to change handle on YouTube. That's where I learned in 50-second video. Yeah, you can change the handle, but right now what's happening, I think, with the at thing being shown, that's a whole different issue. Kincat, Kincat was Belfast Bob, I think, right? Says fireworks still illegal here without license, so always in awe of good firework display. All right, guys. So I should. Oh yeah, Aaron West, the Tappan Zee Bridge. I've heard of that. Is that the one that collapsed or something? Or all right, guys. So anyhow, today's Friday, right? So we'll be on tomorrow, right after Hal Sparks, about around 11 a.m. ish, whenever Hal finishes up. If you're in the Hal Sparks show over there, just get a Trucker John raid going, maybe, if you want, if you're so inclined. And we'll do that. We'll do that from there, and then from there, no show Saturday. I think Monday. I think I'm going to start doing Mondays, members only Mondays. I was going to do that before. I think I've done it a couple times. I think I'm going to start doing that again, just for shits and giggles, just to get the members a little something for their membership. I guess I feel bad. I'm not really doing anything, so I think I might from now on make Monday a members only Monday, and it'll be 11 a.m. just like always. So for your members, I'll see you guys on Monday, and if you're not a member, I'll see you on Tuesday. Well, I did not mean that as any type of euphemism. Okay, guys. So you guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out. I just want to say once again, I'm going to say you guys, thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out. And so thank you guys very much. Make sure you guys all subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and subscribe. There it is. Make sure you guys subscribe and tell everyone you know to subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers, and I'm really serious about that. I want to get to 6 million. All right? Can we do that? Hey, listen, guys. I know this 6 million subscriber thing is really kind of ridiculous, but he's serious. Trucker John, he really wants to get to 6 million subscribers. So for the love of God, please get him some more subscribers so he'll shut up about it. I'm sick and tired of hearing him crying about not having enough subscribers. And you think he's joking about the 6 million, but he's not. He's really serious about it. So please, whatever it is, just get him there so he'll shut up about it. I'm sick of hearing it. I really, really am. But so help him out if you can. That'd be great. Hey, look, guys, whatever it is, I don't know. How about just 4,000? Because I know wasn't there the talk of getting to 4,000 so he could eat that damn dandelion? I want to see him eat the dandelion. So if we could, let's get him out there to 4,000 subscribers, and we'll have I'm pretty sure he's going to do a special show about eating that damn dandelion. And quite frankly, I don't even know if there's any dandelions around here. All I see are rocks. So that's going to be a hard thing too, but we'll get one. We'll get him a dandelion, and we're going to make sure. Tough Cookie and I, if we got to hold him down and force it down his throat, we will make sure that he eats that damn dandelion. So let's at least get to 4,000 subscribers. He's getting close, though. He's getting closer, about 120 away or something. So, all right, let's do that if we can. Don't you guys want to see Trucker John eat a dandelion? I know I do. Hey, I would love nothing more than to eat that damn dandelion if it means we got to 4,000 subscribers. So let's get on that. Hopefully we'll be there. Someday we'll be there. Anyhow. All right, guys. Again, just thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you guys tomorrow, right after House Sparks, right here on YouTube, right here on this very, very channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, this is the part. Everyone loves this part. People at this point have probably reams and reams and reams of Trucker John's words of wisdom, because you write this down and you live by it. So here we go. Get your pad out, get your pen, paper, crayons, Sharpie, whatever it is you use. Write this down. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Today's Trucker John words of wisdom are the
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So style of Easter, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream, this is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, it's time to say goodbye. The show is coming in, but don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Trucker John, on the road he rides, live streaming all through the nights. From politics to pop culture he speaks, no topic is off limits, nothing is weak. From Vegas to the highways, he'll never tire, shouting about food, talking about desire. He's the rebel of the asphalt, the king of the night, with a microphone in his hand. He's ready to ignite. Freedom is his fuel, passion in his soul. Gotta express himself, gotta take control. Moving through the country, keeping it real, no filter, no holding back, nothing to conceal. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, and movies and bugs. Shining a light on all the social issues. No shrugs, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. My apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free.